Hi everyone, BritSimon here. I've got a heck of an update for you guys. If you're interested in the UK lawsuit, you're going to want to listen to this video for sure. There's some interesting developments in that UK lawsuit. Um, Also, I'm recording this towards the end of the business day on 30th of September. So I want to quickly address the fact that DV 2025 is now over. It's ended. In fact, the government have even published an update on the program saying that the DV25 program has ended. Okay. So it's not particularly surprising that they've posted that. It was posted a few hours early, but basically the deadline is 12 o'clock midnight in the local time zone wherever your embassy is. And so really at this time of day, at this point in time, the program is ended. So that's it. DV25 is over. If you were not approved before the end of day today, you cannot be approved after this point. You can have a visa issued if your case was already approved. The printing process doesn't have to complete by midnight of tonight, but that can happen over the next couple of days. That's not a problem. But you have to have been approved before midnight, September 30th, by your local embassy. And if you haven't been approved, then unfortunately your chance is gone. Be aware that sometimes people have the impression they were verbally approved in the interview, and then they find out that they're actually on 221G. Unfortunately, those cases, the verbal decision from the CO doesn't mean anything. It's not enforceable. It doesn't mean that you were approved. And if your case remains in 221G, then you're not going to get your green card. It's a tough message, but I want to be blunt about it because I want people to understand the situation. Tomorrow morning, and in fact, even in the next few hours in some places around the world, DV 2026 is going to start. And it's a 12-month process. Be patient, relax. There's going to be a lot of people who are already scheduled for October and November. There is a systematic glitch that's affecting the ESC page with 2NLs. They're not being properly updated in a timely manner. But some people have emailed KCC and found that they have been scheduled for interviews without their ESC page being updated. So you may want to email KCC if you feel that may be the case in your case. Okay. And DV 2027 has not been announced yet in terms of the entry period. So we have to remain patient for the next few days for that one too. Okay, so that was just some quick updates, but let me get to the UK lawsuit situation. I thought that tonight was going to be a fairly normal evening. Today, we filed the amended complaint for the UK lawsuit that included some DV 2026 plaintiffs. The idea of that is to make sure that we retain standing and we can continue the lawsuit because the government have told us up to now that they didn't think DV 2026 was broken from a UK point of view. And of course it was. There were no winners. However, some really odd things have happened this afternoon. I was contacted first by one winner by email, and then secondly by someone on my blog, both of whom say they are UK chargeable entries. In fact, one of them has provided me with proof of that. And both of them say they've been selected in the UK in the DV26 lottery, which seems at first like great news, but their case numbers are absolutely ridiculous. It's really bizarre. Both case numbers are around about 150,000. They shouldn't have case numbers more than about 50,000. So to have case numbers of around about 150,000 is absolutely bizarre. Now, I've got a couple of theories about what it means, but I don't want to go into too much sort of guessing and sort of trying to work out too much. What I do want to have you do though is, if you're from the UK and you enter DV 2026, please go and check. Go and check your entry. Even if you found earlier that you were not selected, go and check again. I think the government are trying to do something to turn on the UK winners. I think they've made a big mistake. I think they've done something wrong. And I can sort of understand what they've done wrong already, or what I think they've done wrong. And I think there's going to be sort of bad news for those people who've got these extremely high case numbers. However, I need more information. So I'd like you to go check. Right now, you may have been selected with high numbers, or maybe low numbers, but please let me know. Let me know via my blog at BritSimonSays.com. Let me know if you go in and you check your ESC page and you find out you're a winner and you're chargeable to the UK. I'd be extremely interested to hear from you. And I'd like to know your case number range. So you can tell me just the case number range. It doesn't have to be precise. It could be, you can say, EU 20,000 or EU 30,000 or whatever it is, 27,000, something in that range. You don't have to tell me the precise number. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see whether more people have been told that they are winners. Now, I do suspect that this is a mistake that would actually, there's a couple of possible explanations for this. In one case, it would be an absolute outright mistake and it would not be good news for those selectees. In another scenario, it might be something the government is actually trying to do. They might have, bizarrely, for some reason, made all the UK winners, with a high case number range. It's sort of possible. I'd discussed it before as being a possible solution. But in the DV 2025 case, all of the selectees that were turned into winners, 43 cases, all had low case numbers below 23,000. And so they were naturally issued case numbers that were issued during the normal draw process and simply suppressed by the government prior to the announcement of the results first time round. And then the process to reveal those cases was simply to unlock or reveal those cases. I believe I've got an idea of what the government have done. I think, if I'm right, it's absolutely mind-blowingly dopey. But I think it's probably what's happened. But please go ahead and check. And I suspect that if you watch this video tonight, hopefully by tomorrow, I'll probably have a sort of a mailbox full of winners with all sorts of case number ranges. So we'll see. I feel like a kid at Christmas. So please let me know. I think it may be coincidental that the lawsuit was filed today for DV26, and this has happened this afternoon. The two cases that have already come forward both randomly checked their cases today. They both had checked earlier in the year and saw the not selected message. Neither one of them got an email or anything like that to say you should go and check your results. They just randomly went and checked their numbers, but their case number ranges are bananas. And so that's the biggest sort of clue to me that something is wrong with this. But I would like to get more information. All right, everybody, please let me know what's going on with your UK winners, your winning entries. Let's see if we can sort of figure out what the government have done. All right, everyone, good night now.